minute. Excellent. Hey, everyone. This is HeatherAsh Amara. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm being joined by a dear one, Stephanie Bennett Vogt, who is going to be sharing, yay, about her incredible work. So Stephanie is the author of Your Spacious Self, A Year to Clear, and A Year for You. All really incredible books. And she's also the container for for Spacious Way. I'll let her explain more about that, but that's her gift to the world. And Stephanie and I have been friends through Hierophant Publishing for many years now, and I'm always excited to get to talk to her and share her with people and read her books. So we have people that are both live on Zoom right now and live on the Facebook page. So I will be monitoring the chat and checking in. And Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your wisdom and your compassion and your love. Yay! So I'm going to turn it over to you, sweetheart. Good.
So thank you, everybody, for joining me today. And HeatherAsh, you're the best. I love you. And Randy, my publisher, our publisher, for making this possible. And so I have just, I could talk for hours, because this subject of resting at home, sheltering at home, being at home is just one that is so near and dear to my heart. And I feel that it is unbelievable opportunity we have. It's really a gift that we didn't have much time before to spend at home. And guess what? Now we actually kind of do. And it gives us an opportunity to take back our life, to clear stress and stuff that's been holding us back for years. It gives us time to play a much bigger game that leads to lasting change. And that's what this is what my whole thing is about: is simplifying, creating messages, books, online courses that really kind of capture the absolute nub, the essence of what it means to become ourselves, our most spacious selves. And I want to start just with a quotation, because which I saw today, and it just really sort of speaks, I think, to the pain we're feeling, a lot of us, the loss, the grief, and really this opportunity for personal transformation. And it's by Glennon Doyle. She posted today on her live feed, her Instagram, TV, whatever that thing. And I actually started writing down what she was saying, some of the things she was saying, because I just felt like, it was just speaking to my heart. She was coming from such a heartful place. And so I'm going to read you just some bits of it. It wasn't the whole thing, and what I was able to capture by typing it fast. So what she says is, the message that this is the time for hustle might be the ultimate distraction of what this time is for, which is cocooning and becoming. This is internal work that is happening right now. I'm just allowing myself to feel and be still and crumble and be in curiosity about what will happen next. Do what you need to do. Keep serving your families, but don't buy into the message that this is the time to improve yourself. All of that is horseshit. We never, ever need to improve ourselves. We just need to return to ourselves. I'm going to read that again because I love that line. We never, ever need to improve ourselves. We just need to return to ourselves. This is inner self-work, and the best self-care we need to do has nothing to do with outer things. Zero self-improvement, she says. Just the self, returning to the deep self-care. Is everything that we need to do. Don't hustle and miss it. Don't add shoulds or shame on top of grief. Grief is a cocoon, and it's going to take all of our energy, just like it takes a butterfly all of its energy. It's going to be exhausting. It's going to be painful, and it's going to make us new. So thank you, Glennon Doyle, for that beautiful, heartfelt message. I love that. So it really raises these questions for me. How do we safely when the world out there is falling apart and doesn't feel safe? How do we return to ourselves when everything is chaos? People are getting sick, kids are out of school, friends and family are losing their jobs, our homes are a disaster. It's crazy. We can't pay our bills. So how do we create a home space that can better serve and support us while we do this work, this big transformational work that involves grieving and loss and pain? So while we can't control what's happening out there, what we have at our disposal, like really big disposal, is that we have the ability to calm the chaos that happens to our lives, the chaos that we live in, our homes, the chaos that lives in our heads and our hearts. So that's what I want to address. And I feel that there is no better teacher than our homes to kind of get us through. So I'm a big fan of homes, no matter if it's cluttered or not cluttered, it's, you know, pristine and well-appointed everything. I really don't care. It's really that container that I really want to focus on today. So what I'm going to do is do a little guided meditation with you. It'll take about 10 minutes. And then I'll walk you through a 5-step process that will help you kind of really enter into the chaos with equanimity and calm and peace. And it's really adaptable to not just things and stuff and clutter, but it's also adaptable to the noise inside here. And of course, the heavy heart. So, and after that, if we have some time, just to answer a few questions, and that will be our program. Okay. So what I'm going to have you all do is just get really comfy. If you have water on hand, just take a nice big swig of water. I always carry with me. And kick off your shoes, lay back, turn down the light, maybe close the door, put your device on mute, not this device, but your phone. And let's do like a little guided thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on a short guided tour of your home. Yep, the one you're living in or the one you occupy currently. So this tour is just purely a data gathering mission. Okay, you're not going to do anything. We're not going to clear anything. It's not going to be the scary thing. It really is an opportunity to go deep into this place that you call home. And what it will do is it will help you identify one area or one object or one issue that needs your love and attention right now. Okay, and it will help you zero in on your first step. Like when this call is over, you'll have your blueprint for the next step for this week. So here's just one little caveat. You may think already that you know where your problem areas are. You're going, oh yeah, it's going to be that closet over there, you know, or it's going to be that horrible basement or my emails, or no, just enter into this with complete open mind. Okay. You may be very surprised. This is a very popular meditation. I've done it a lot with my students, and I would say about 99% of them come away going, oh my God, I had no idea I was going to go there. So there's nothing you need to do, change, or make happen. Just notice and allow the thoughts and the feelings and judgments and try not to identify, personalize any of them. You're literally just like an archaeologist entering into this space that is your home. And notice in particular your energy level using all of your senses, okay? Just tap in, like to fine tune your senses, because you might pick up information that is auditory or visual or kinesthetic. So really sort of be open to receiving information. And just ask that whatever information you need to know right now will be delivered to you. And that's that. So just sit back and let's enjoy some sights and smells and sounds of your home. Easy breath in and a slow emptying breath out. And just breathe out all thought and tension. And just breathe in pure awareness and possibility. And just feel yourself growing more relaxed and quiet and still. Keep breathing. With each out breath, imagine your invisible energy field. This is that spacious part of you that radiates out from your physical body. Just bring some awareness to this. And with every out breath, just breathe this out. It's like a membrane that's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And just ask that this field be clear and unattached. And just notice what it feels like to fully inhabit all of yourself, both the physical and the non-physical. As you bring this spacious being that is you to your front doorstep. It could be the front door. It could be the entrance that you use the most. Wherever you're drawn to, start there. And before you cross the threshold, notice what it feels here. Just take a few moments to take it in and notice what you notice. Now take a step inside. What is the first thing that catches your attention? Perhaps it's an object or a smell or the way the door opens or the stuff. Just take your time to wander and explore with all of your senses. And you're just gathering information which is more available to you now from this more spacious self. You can open doors if you need to. You can peek into closets or cupboards. Just poke around and notice whatever comes up. And after you've had a chance to peek and poke around, allow yourself to be guided to one area or one object or one issue in your home that might register as more stuck or tight or contracted or tentative. Just feel into that. Don't think, just allow your spacious self. It knows, you know exactly where to go. And as you make your way into the space or object or issue that may be located in a particular place, notice how your body feels and your breathing in particular. Is your breathing shallow or relaxed and deep? How about your hands? Are they hot? Are they cold? Are they prickly, tingly? Do you feel a connection to this space, or are you repelled by it? And by space, I mean object or issue. Do you notice an odor or a color or a sound or even a taste in your mouth? Do you notice something you hadn't noticed before? Just take it all in and trust your fully expanded self to know exactly where to go and how to be. So this space or object or issue is calling your attention for a reason and has some information to share with you. It wants to tell you something. Just be aware of your comfort level, knowing that you are completely safe and all is well. You'll notice that there is a chair awaiting you that is facing the space or object or issue that is inviting you to sit in. Just take a seat in front of the space and just continue to breathe and hang out. Notice your body, sensations, emotions. Have they changed? Are they the same? Have they shifted? Just feel free to place your hand on some part of your body that may be feeling tighter or more contracted. And just allow any feelings to arise. Let the space know that you're here to listen unconditionally. Remember, you do not have to say or do anything, just simply listen. Bear witness. What this space or thing or issue wants to tell you are 4 things. And just allow the answers to reveal themselves as you complete these 4 open-ended statements. Remember, this is the space talking, the issue, the object. What I find most about being the space is what I find most frustrating about being the space is what's missing in my life is. What's missing in my life is. What I really need right now is. What I really need right now is. And one way you can support me this week is. One way you can support me this week is. Just be receptive, be open, allow the information just to arise. Keep breathing. Notice your body sensations again. Have they changed? When the space feels complete and it's sharing, just thank it for its honesty with you and for being the great teacher that it is. And acknowledge yourself for listening. And just pledge to tend and support the space or issue or thing over the following week to the best of your ability with intention, action, detachment, and compassion. If you can be specific with what you're offering to do, but don't get too bogged down with the details. When you feel complete, you can make your way back to the doorway where you first entered and begin the process of saying goodbye to this space or this object or this you. And goodbye to the rest of the house and the building, if there's a building. It's an apartment. As you say goodbye for now, you may wish to bless your home and surround her with love and whatever feels good. And just take a nice easy breath in and a slow emptying breath out. And you can wiggle your fingers and your toes and open your eyes and just take a moment to look around the room you're in right now. And just notice your expanded self sitting in the room. Notice your breathing. Notice if you're feeling differently now than you did when we began. Okay, then. So from this point, we're going to go into part 2 of this program. So here's the thing. So you all ready for this mind bender? I can't see any of you, but I hope you're nodding because I have kind of a little bit of a twist to throw at you. So here's the deal. Ultimately, it's not about the problem area or the issue that's causing you pain. It's not about the clothes that don't fit. It's not about the scary looking pile in your basement. It's not about the insane pile of emails. It's not about the strain at home. It's not about your kids fighting, the loss of income, the worries, the unknown. It's also not about the desired outcome, what you want to have happen. It's not about the issue. It's not about the outcome. So if it's not either of those things, what is it? So it's really the space in between where the real happening place is, where the real goodies are, where the real clearing happens, where the real transformation and the healing happens. So the mind's going to keep wanting to go to, I hate my life, I hate my home. Or it's going to go to the other side, which is I want it to change. I want this to get better. I want it over. I want this whole thing done and over with. Neither of those two places is going to get us what we ultimately desire, which is to become ourselves, to really come into the center of who we are. So how do we get there? So, how do we get there and stay there and move through this cocoon state that we're in? So this is where we actually need a container. And this talk is like a container. And we need to feel safe. This container needs to feel safe. And we need to stay in the present now. Like now. Not the problem, not the solution, but the now. Where am I right now? That's the happening place. So, and this is where a tool that it's taken me over 20 years to develop this tool. It's really at the heart of all my work. And I call it the Spacious Way. HeatherAsh mentioned it earlier, and it really is a process. If you really wanted some action steps, because all of us humans want to do something, right? Well, these give you tools just to create that safety, that container, and that present moment experience so that you can actually do some deep work without it blowing your circuits. And the beauty of this method, I guess I could call it that, is that you do it in tiny little increments. So every little practice you do, it's a practice. Every little practice you do grows and ripples into bigger things. So we practice with the little things, the things we can manage, like our closet or our drawer or the socks or whatever it might be. Those little things, just adopting this practice, which I'm going to share with you in a sec, really adopting it as a daily practice is when the magic starts to happen. You start to see shifts beyond your wildest imaginings. At least that's been my experience. So it's two things that you need. One is awareness and consistency. So this tool, this process, this method will give you those things. So here's how it works. The first step, and what's convenient too, is that they all start with the letter S, so they're easy to remember. And they kind of go in this order. I'll say what they are, and then I'll talk about each one in a sec. So the first step is to slow down. I'll talk about that in a minute. The second step is to simplify. Third step is to sense. That's all that feeling stuff we were doing in the meditation. The fourth S is to surrender. And the fifth S is self-care. Okay, so those are the 5 steps, and I'm just going to walk you through each one and how they might apply. And be thinking about the meditation, be thinking of the area that you were drawn to, and see how that might apply to this pledge that you did to your space, your home space, or the issue of the object, what you had said that you would be willing to do this week. These steps will help you. Okay, so slowing down. This step automatically, it's kind of self-explanatory, right? But what it does is it reduces the speed. And here's the thing about slowing down. There's slowing down, being asked to slow down, like the world has asked us to slow down. And there's slowing down with awareness. Not the same. So there's slowing down that is you're being told to slow down, and you're probably going into resistance about that. I'm not saying you, but the world might be. It's hard, especially if we don't know how to slow down. And then there's the slowing down on purpose, with purpose, and doing so with complete awareness for about a minute a day. So when you feel like things are just getting out of hand at home, cray, the TV is just going nonstop with the doom and gloom, the worst case, the coronavirus, everybody dying left and right. This is when you reach for that first step, which is to slow down. And whatever it means to you, it could be to take a deep breath. It could be to stop what you're doing, put the phone down, actively put the phone down. Maybe there's some sort of a word that you could adopt that will be your slow down word that will help you just bring you back to right now. Maybe there's a mantra, or just closing your eyes. Sometimes it does that. It does that for me. I just take that deep breath and slow down. And just keep breathing into this slowing down, the conscious slowing down process until you start to feel more relaxed and grounded. Okay, I say a minute, but however long it takes, because this is a pretty important step, because the rest of it basically rides on this one step. It's key. The second step, step 2, is simplifying. So this step is all about reducing the noise. So if we're reducing the speed, now we're reducing the noise. And so when you slow down, you're feeling more grounded, you could just ask yourself a question, a simple question like, what is one thing I can do right now to simplify my situation and help shift my energy? Just pose that as a question, a wonder question. What is one thing I can do right now that would simplify this situation? And it could be micro. Slowing down was a step, right, of simplifying. Choose something as small as possible, because the mind is going to be going into fight or flight, right? So whatever you can do that really reduces the noise. So it could be, okay, pushing the chair back, getting up, going out the door, taking in a deep breath. That could be simplifying the situation right there, because maybe you just don't have the answers. So you have to simplify. Play with this. The sky's the limit for how you can simplify situation. And what's great about connecting with your higher self here is you will get information, you'll get the download of how best to simplify in the situation that you're in. And wait. Go back to slowing down until you start getting just a clue, or, oh, okay, maybe I could do this. Maybe I can, maybe I could just fold laundry right now. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just go downstairs and fold some laundry. And okay, so now we're going to step 3. They all flow together, as you'll see, but step 3 is sensing. And the real point here is, with all of your senses, smell, taste, touch, hearing, seeing, and inner knowing, all of those senses that you used in the meditation, you're going to ask yourself, how is this problem or issue making me feel? It could be that the simplifying thing is making you feel a certain way. It's bringing up some stuff. This is the goodies, because guess what? You're in present moment right now. And the beauty of sensing is it takes you out of here and into here and now. It's a wonderful thing. And get specific, are your hands, are they hot? Are they cold, prickly? Are they grippy? Are they clammy? There's so many ways, patterns, what I call weather patterns to our sensory apparatus. It gives us so much information. And as you start to make friends with your senses, it's gonna help you in just so many ways. So sensing is a big one, and it just comes right through. It's almost like as soon as you start getting that clear signal of how to simplify, start noticing how you're feeling about your situation. And your breathing. Breathing is like if you don't know, if you can't get in touch with other senses, just notice the breath. Go back to the breath. So for those of you who are not used to feeling, okay, this could be kind of your biggest stretch. But what you might discover is it's not going to kill you. Nobody's going to die. It might not feel very good. But this is the work. And again, dial it down. Again, all these steps really can be done in a minute or less. Okay, so this goes right into the 4th S, which is surrendering. they actually, step 3, sensing and surrendering, kind of go hand in hand. And what surrendering, so if sensing is about increasing awareness, surrendering is also about increasing awareness, but with an additional thing, which is adding a level of acceptance. So it's awareness with acceptance. So what's happening is you're feeling deeply, whatever it is, and then you're taking a step back and witnessing yourself feeling deeply. It's a little bit like riding a bike. How do you stay up and stay on 2 wheels and not fall down? It's like that. You're literally doing both at the same time. You're holding a bigger space. You've gotten bigger. And, the really good question to ask yourself here is, what is this problem or situation showing me, teaching me right now? And then you become the witness to the pattern or the problem. And again, it's like a practice. If we're like in it like this, we go back to slowing down. If you can't get to surrendering, go back a step or 2 or 3. What is this problem or situation showing me, teaching me? In the meditation, it was asking your space or object or issue to talk with you. Your job was to listen. Well, this is the same. You're being invited to listen. So just allow the discomfort. This is not about managing anything. You're watching, you're observing and feeling at the same time. But you're feeling without attachment. You're feeling without taking it personally, identifying with it. It's really interesting when you get at a level of mastery with this. So if you're feeling overwhelmed or rattled, just hang out with it. Ask it, what are you teaching me? What do I need to learn from you? What can you offer me that I didn't know before that would actually elevate me? And just notice if witnessing the weather in this way without attachment shifts it. So then you go back to sensing again. It's like, how do I feel right now? Oh my gosh, my breathing's a lot better suddenly, magically. You may notice as you start to become this witnessing presence that the actual sensations start to shift. So it's this kind of dance between those two. And finally, we get to the last step, which is self-care. And it's all 4 steps that precede it are baked into self-care. So really cultivating a deep sense of self-care. Actually, I was thinking about this today. Can we cultivate self-care without slowing down, simplifying, sensing, and surrendering? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I just know that it's a lot easier when you've been practicing those other steps, because then guess what? You are way bigger. You're in a place where you can ask for what you need. You become more of an advocate for yourself. You're able to set clear boundaries, because you're not like in this. You're actually like this. You're calmer. You're getting creative ideas. You're seeing that not everything is exactly like you thought, or maybe it wasn't, and maybe you can adjust your requests of other people. And if you can't get to this place of self-care because you're just thinking, oh my God, I screwed up on that meditation, I'm just a hopeless case, that's not self-care. Time to go back, just go back to 1 or 2 or 3 or all the way to the slow down again, until you start to really, it is so visceral, this feeling of I have my own practice. I do after my walk. It helped with my knees a lot. Is I put my feet up on the wall, and I time myself 20 minutes. And damn, if I don't feel better, it's just something happens to me, and I'm not. This is not yoga. I mean, I'm like yoga mat. Literally, I just on my bed. I just stick my feet up, and I can feel like, oh, it's fantastic. So these kinds of things just make them not negotiable. And you may have a ton of kids at home and you need to carve it out. The world needs you to carve it out. The world needs you to yourself. We need you. So those are the 5 steps. This is how you can just cycle through them. And you may have noticed in the meditation that they all included all 5 steps. So you slow down by closing your eyes. That's an example of slowing down. You simplified by zeroing in on one area. You sensed by bringing increased awareness to how you felt around the area, object, or issue that you were having a conversation with. You surrendered when you listened to the space or object do the talking. And you cultivated self-care by listening with no judgment, by taking this time for yourself, by tending your home. It's all self-care. There's no separation. When we tend our homes, we're tending ourselves. So the beauty, again, the process is you can just start small and it will grow all by itself. You don't need to do anything sexy or fancy or like moment. The simpler, the better. Keep simplifying, 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 simplifying. And again, as a practice, it's not something that you master overnight. It's a journey. Remember, that's a space between the issue and the outcome. Issues are going to continually change. Desired outcomes are going to continue to change. But how you respond and relate to them will be solid. You'll be solid. And so I just want to show you, let's see here. So as HeatherAsh mentioned my books, but I do want to mention them because the meditation came out of, I adapted, I don't know if you can see it, but I adapted it from my second book, A Year to The Clear. And it comes from, if you own it, or have read it, it's week 12, Connecting with Home. It's in there. And this 5-step process, I take you a whole year. Like if you really want to become a master at slowing down, simplifying, sensing, surrendering, self-care, I recommend this book. This just came out last fall, and it's the pathway. It's the spacious way. I also recommend the first book because it will give you, if you want like a sense of the foundation for this work, like how did it all come together? What is it? What's the science behind it? It's all in here. So I want to close. I'm going to close just with a couple of last thoughts. Let's see here. I want to mention that I have a website, spaceclear.com. So if you're interested at all in reading these books, learning more about the books, reading a sample chapter, or my online courses on De Leon that will also help. They deliver this same material in different ways. What I call the slow drip approach to clearing. You can go to my website at spaceclear.com. One word, spaceclear.com. And sign up for my newsletter because I send out little, not often. I don't like to clutter people's email inboxes, but I do when something's up. Like this talk, I send out a little blast for people to know about it. You would get one of those. And I just want to say, this is kind of interesting to me about slowing down. If you feel like if you ever doubted the impact that slowing down has on a global level, just read the articles about how the pollution around the planet has just dropped. And I hope we can sustain it, but I think so we need to clear the pollution here. So my work is all about working on the pollution here so that it actually ripples out to affect the pollution out there. So your job, again, is simple, just you. I'm not going to change anybody else. You are the only one that can bring about dramatic shift in the way you hold and relate to your whatever circumstance, whatever curveball gets thrown your way. And as I say, it's a practice. It's not perfect. It sucks sometimes, but it is. The other side of that is pretty incredible. It's just sublime. So I thank you for joining me today. And HeatherAsh, I can say I'm complete.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephanie. We had a few people on the Facebook just really grateful for your sharing, and I know a lot of people on Zoom as well. So much gratitude for you coming in and sharing the Spacious Way and those 5 beautiful S's. And may we all integrate them into our lives now. It's a perfect time.
Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer anything, as long as it's okay with you. I'm good. Yep.
Yeah, we can hang out a couple of minutes. If anybody that is on either Facebook or on Zoom, if you have any questions for Stephanie, go ahead and share, and we'll hang out for a few more minutes to see if there's any questions. I know it takes a minute for it to propagate through. So Vanita, does this work for space outdoors too?
Space is space. Ultimate energy, right? Absolutely. You can work with this spaces outdoors. When I studied space clearing, we were working with actually doing some major healing of highly disturbed areas outdoors. A lot of the principles that I've kind of distilled that are these 5 come from some many years of space clearing. And we were using pendulums and dowsing rods and tapping into, graveyards and ghost activity and cemeteries and, houses that were located next to highways, and just clearing these disturbing effects on the occupants of the home and the home itself. So absolutely, these principles are infinitely adaptable. Yep.
Beautiful. And someone on Facebook asked if you could repeat the 4 questions that you shared during the meditation.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I figured that they might. It's funny, one of the questions just came to me today.
Nice.
I was thinking about this. I loved it. I was like, oh my God, that's so great. Hold on one sec.
Sure. And I'll tell, so somebody asked about if your books are available. So they're available. I just went and looked, definitely available on Kindle. So
yes.
You can get,
and Audible. I think the first 2 books are on Audible. So you can actually listen to Your Spacious Self and A Year to Clear on
Audible
audio.
as well. Okay, great. Yeah, so Judith, there you go.
Yeah.
Kindle,
so the
Audible.
First question, there was no question for slowing down because, how do I slow down? Well, maybe that's a good question. How do I slow down right now? How do I slow down right now? Maybe it's hard to slow down. I mean, we're actually given such an amazing gift to slow down. Maybe it's not so hard now to slow down. But the second for simplifying is, what is one thing I can do right now to simplify my situation and shift the energy? What is one thing I can do right now to simplify the situation, my situation, and shift the energy?
Good. And those of you who are listening, I'm typing these down and I'll share them.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
The question for sensing is, how is this problem or issue making me feel? Or space, right? Because it was a space, it was a problem, it was a space or a thing. I mean, objects hold a lot of energy, and it may be that an object isn't feeling so good. So tap into how you're feeling around the object too. How is this problem or issue or object making me feel? Relationship, fill in the blank. Step four would be, this is the one that came to me today. What is this problem or situation showing me, telling me, teaching me? It's like really cool because you're inviting it to inform you, as opposed to you trying to control and make something happen. You're really just stepping back and going, what are you trying to, what am I here to learn from this? And it really helps with the spacious detachment because it takes the whole judgment thing out of the equation. You're not judging anymore. You're just kind of curious. This is the thing I forgot to mention. It's really enter into surrendering with total curiosity, like beginner's mind. Oh, wow, that's so interesting. And your ego and part of you will go, ah, fuck you. but if you enter into it with complete like newbie, you're a beginner's mind, and enter into what is this here to teach me? It will shift the energy. It's really powerful, that question. And the last question is, what is one thing I can do now? Oh, I didn't mention it. So I'm glad you're asking. What is one thing I can do now to support myself in feeling calmer, more centered, more spacious, nourished, fill in the blank right now? What is one thing I can do to support myself in feeling calmer, fill in the blank, centered, fed, nourished, spacious right now? Judith, thanks for asking those questions. I forgot to mention that one. Yeah. Those are the 5.
Beautiful. Okay, I will share them on the Facebook page as well. Thank you again so much, Stephanie. You are such an amazing resource in so many ways. It's so great to have you take the time to live with us.
Yeah, it was great. Really fun for me. And I love the love streaming. I think it's powerful what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm grateful that we're able to do it. So for those of you that are on the Zoom, I'm doing Facebook Live. We're calling it love streaming every day. And so I do chats in the morning. My friend Mary does meditation. So there's a lot going on that page. I'm also bringing in other authors from Hierophant. So tomorrow we'll have Flora Bowley that'll be joining us talking about creativity. Jacob Nordby will be coming in on Wednesday. Sunny Dawn Johnston.
What's Jacob gonna teach?
Say it again, hon?
What's Jacob going to teach?
I don't know yet. I'm waiting for his description.
Oh.
You have any suggestions? Email him.
He's funny. I have to say, I love his humor.
Yeah. It'll be great. He's such a wonderful character. So he'll be sharing around something
maybe
magical.
People laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't say that, but I think humor is really important right now. Just laughter, humor. That would be self-care right there.
So true.
Wow. We're just taking a lot of it. It's very serious, but man, does it shift the energy? Like maybe that would be the question is what can I do to support myself in feeling lighter and just less sort of plugged in and just more joyful?
Yeah, that's a great
I do believe that there is a lot of joy to be had, and even in the midst of all this density.
Yeah, absolutely. And that it's important for us to have the joy and let it go out to help lighten the density for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. So busy, I just wrote, for anybody who wants to join the live stream, it's on my Facebook page, HeatherAsh Amara. So you can go on Facebook Live, share links for the other sessions you just mentioned. So that's the Facebook link. So if you just go there.
The link for your Facebook is HeatherAsh.Amara. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's on Facebook.
And it's on Facebook. So everything's being broadcast live on Facebook. So you can go there,
Oh,
HeatherAsh.Amara.
Beautiful. So this is recorded and people will be, I'm going to send it out to, my newsletter. So if you're on my newsletter, don't worry, I'll send it out at some point.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be uploading this to Vimeo
for a while and you'll be fine.
Yeah. It's available on my on the Facebook page, and we're going to also send it straight to Stephanie so she can send it out to her list. So lots of resources. All right. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us. What a gift, and many blessings to each of you.
Yeah. Thank you, my dear. Lots of love.
Thank you. Love.
Lots of love, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.